Hello, my name is Laurel Kaeferlein, and I'm an early childhood special education teacher. Today I want to talk to you about sensory processing disorders. I don't know whether or not you've heard of a sensory processing disorder, but it's where you are dysregulated and your senses are either on overload or underload. You're either overwhelmed or you're seeking a sensory input. And I can give you some examples of something that we all do from time to time. We feel overstimulated by being in a noisy environment. For example, I can't stand being in a casino because it is so much sensory input. All of the lights are flashing in my face and I'm hearing ding, 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 ding all the time. And it's just so noisy and it's disconcerting. So I am able to calm down. I don't have to run screaming out of there, but it does make me feel uncomfortable. So I choose not to spend time in casinos for that very reason. Now, your child, imagine if he has a sensory processing disorder and he's in an environment that he finds overwhelming that other people can handle, he doesn't have the maturity and the calm skills, the skills to self-soothe. So he's going to need a little bit of help. Another example of us when we are sensory seeking, let's say, is when you have a sweet tooth and you're just really craving something and oh gosh, I really wish I could have a piece of chocolate. If I had a piece of chocolate, I'd feel better, right? So you're seeking a sensory experience with that chocolate. You're seeking that input of maybe the smell of it or the way that you feel after you've eaten chocolate or the taste of it. So we're using our senses. So our senses involve a lot of different aspects of our learning and our capability to learn. So when you went to school, you probably learned of the five senses: your sight, your hearing, your smell, your taste, and then your touch. We have those five senses, yes, but we have two more. And those two other ones often play a part in our little ones and their ability to attend. And those are proprioception and vestibular. So vestibular, I'm in a spinning chair right now. That's your ability to handle movement and be able to regulate yourself. So a child who has a vestibular issue might not like to be on a swing, or if they are overstimulated by it, or if they are understimulated, they might be the child that's spinning constantly. They're seeking out that spinning or that swinging, and they're only calmed down if they're spinning or swinging. So that would be an instance for that. With proprioception, that is the little sensors that are inside of our joints. They tell us where our body is in space. And I'll get into that more later because proprioception is the biggie for a lot of our little friends who have issues calming down. So one of the ways that I like to describe a sensory processing disorder is there is too much glitter in my snow globe. So I have a snow globe here. And if you can imagine, you see this, there's a whole bunch of glitter in here. And if we breathe during the time that it takes for us to calm down and breathe, we can see what's inside the snow globe. The glitter has calmed down. When your child is overstimulated or overwhelmed by something, they can't pay attention. They are incapable of paying attention. They need you to help them because they are 1 or 2 or 3 years old or 4 or 5 or 17. But your child needs some help, and that's where our experienced occupational therapists and speech language pathologists and physical therapists and ECSE teachers, we all help because we've had a lot of experience with these little ones who have sensory processing disorders. So I wanted to go through this just a little bit. I made a few visuals to kind of help you to understand. So the phrase sensory regulated, that means that everything's okay. We're not overwhelmed, we're not underwhelmed, we're not seeking something out. We have a full glass of water here. So everything, we have enough. If we're thirsty, we can take a drink, but we're pretty much okay, and that glass of water is sitting at the table. All right. So, sensory seeking behavior. Your glass of water is empty or it is almost empty and you are dying of thirst. I have to have something to drink right now. So that would be the child who is seeking a sensory input. They're going to be looking for lights. They're going to be looking for pressure. They're going to be making sound. They're going to be jumping off of things and banging into things and spinning, or they might have little hand flapping, and they're seeking a stimulation. So that's your child who is seeking the behavior. So their sensory processing disorder is one of seeking or underfill. Overstimulation. Your cup is overflowing, and you have a few ways that you can stop this. You're like, too much noise. You can scream, which is what a lot of our little ones do. Sometimes they put their hands over their ears, or they run away, or they fight, or they hit, but they're trying to get away from this cup of water, and we need to give them the tools to stop being overstimulated. In a situation that isn't really overstimulating for most people, we have to give them some support because their brains are picking up more information than ours are. We have learned how to filter things out. We have learned how to filter out the noise of the birds in the backyard and the car that's driving by. We've learned how to filter out the lights that are shining on us. Now, there are small little things that are just, that isn't necessarily a huge sensory processing disorder, but it might be something that just interferes with your own learning or your child's learning. An example of that might be fluorescent lighting. I know a lot of people who get migraines from fluorescent lightings and they just can't even think in that environment. So that's a good example of something for sight. If the glass of water didn't work for you, I also have a teeter-totter. When we're sensory regulated, our teeter-totter is balanced. We are okay. You know, it might tip a little bit to the right, it might tip a little bit to the left, but we're okay. When we are understimulated here, we're at the bottom of that teeter-totter and we're looking up and the other person is having fun and we're sitting there at the bottom going, yeah, I need something. Come on, jump down, I need something. So that would be that. The teeter-totter, overstimulated, they're at the top and they're scared and they want to get down. All right, so it's our job to help our little ones. So, in another video, I'll talk about some specifics about how to help your little friend, your child, your student, your grandchild, your foster child, whoever it is that is in your life that needs a little bit of help. We're going to give some suggestions for those specific areas. Okay, thank you so much and have a nice day.